Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Monday morning with Business Coach Malloy. Interesting week, this, isn't it? This week we celebrate the power of the women, and this week we celebrate Holi. And what a combination! Seventh we celebrate Holi. Eighth we celebrate the power of the the International Day, though. But for me, it's more of the power of the Indian woman and what they've achieved and what they can achieve and what they're able or what they will be able to achieve in the coming years. Breaking all ceilings, breaking those glass ceilings, breaking those barriers. And while Mr. Narendra Modi, our Honorable Prime Minister, mentioned that the next decade will be India's decade in the world, I think the next decade will be the power of the women entrepreneurship in India. So today we're day 3, episode number 3 of our series, Business Mantras for Entrepreneurs. If you recall day 2, I spoke about purpose being the most important attribute for an entrepreneur. It is said that if you don't have a goal, you can take any road because all roads are going to take you to nowhere. Without a purpose, there cannot be a goal. Without a goal, there cannot be a road. And without a road, there cannot be any achievement. I hope all of you have started working on your purpose. And from that purpose, you would have by now or in the next couple of weeks, would have decided on your goals for 23-24. If you need any help, please do reach out to us. And we will be there to help all entrepreneurs around the world in helping them fulfilling their purpose. If you want a link to this the episode 2, please visit our YouTube channels and you will find it there. You can go to our websites and you will find the same. But if you're still struggling, just drop in a text and we will send it to you. This week, like I said, is a truly special week. There's a week where we celebrate true achievement. We celebrate women. So to all women out there, we wish you a very happy Women's Day. Now, as times change, the rise of the female entrepreneurs in India has shown that women in business are capable of matching the success of their male counterparts. Now, although the word entrepreneur is a gender-neutral term, for many, many years and many decades, it has been reserved mainly for men. While the success stories of these entrepreneurs are often chronicled, their hardships and the struggles are really touched upon. Especially in a country like ours, that is deeply patriarchal in several areas, it is not just not difficult, but challenging for women entrepreneurs. But here's a fact. Women no longer are held bound by this perception. In a recent article in the Forbes magazine, angel investor and venture capitalist Alan Hall had written, "There has never been a greater time and a need for women to start business. We need their abilities, we need their experiences, and we need the skills more than ever before in this very competitive world of commerce." Now let's step backwards. Michelangelo, the world-acclaimed sculptor, had the gumption to say that sculpture is not a woman's work. But hundreds of years later, a gutsy lady called Jasu Shilpi from Ahmedabad took up the challenge of defying this great sculptor and proving her own talent in a field nationally and internationally. She now makes larger-than-life statues of Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Rana Pratap, etc. A naval officer's wife and a homemaker, Meena Bindra, after her children grew up and life became slightly boring, started as a hobby, some humble salwar kameez making business. Encouraged with a response, she scaled up to a 300 crore business with outlets all over the country, and it became a national brand by the name Biba. And I'm sure all of you out there would be aware of this. Question that I want to ask today, how does a woman manage to do all these? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is a very simple answer. A woman has something in her inherent, while a man still have to learn. And this inherent talent is the talent of multitasking. And that is our theme for this third episode, the art of multitasking as a business owner. As an entrepreneur, multitasking is a hugely important skill to possess. Given the tasks that require your attention, the lack of time available to complete them, it's vital that you're able to juggle your responsibilities as and when required. While not everybody is natural at this, the good news is that effective multitasking can be learned. And there are specific techniques that you can utilize and the concepts that you can master, enabling you to maximize your output. The secret of multitasking isn't in trying to do everything at the same time, instead of doing multiple things effectively. So whether you're building a business from scratch or you're involved in an existing business at the very initial stages, you're probably involved in everything. You end up doing the smallest of tasks and solving the biggest of problems. So for the founder, a multitasking is an inherent capability. For some, this might mean productive, but when you're a business owner, you might want to look at your tasks and reconsider what multitasking and productivity actually means. So there are a few things that I'm going to share with you, which will help you to become a better multitasker. And the first of them, plan well and set priorities. When you don't multitask well, your performance will inevitably drop. This is because your focus is spread over multiple tasks, torn between ideas and to-dos. To perform better, you need to focus on one thing at a time. In other words, you need to decide your priorities while you're multitasking. As a business owner, your tasks do not and should not carry the same weight. Instead of attacking everything at once, take the time first to write down your tasks and prioritize them. Number two, manage your time carefully. When you have a plan, you need to manage your time effectively. And there's several ways to do it, including time blocking, which is deciding in advance what you will be doing for each part of the day. And this is something that you do with all my clients, is to first do a time inventory. Prepare a spreadsheet, a simple spreadsheet, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And prepare a 2-hour block for a 7-day period, and just keep on writing what have you done during those 2 hours every single day, a few words. You will see, ladies and gentlemen, as entrepreneurs, you will see the amount of time that is available to us and that we can utilize more productively. Now, once you have done that, take a separate spreadsheet, a blank spreadsheet, sit back on a Sunday or a Saturday evening and write what you would want to achieve in the next 7 days. And when you review them after 7 days, let me be honest, we would not have achieved more than 50 to 60% of what we had written down. But even if you achieve 50%, your productivity over time can grow manifold. The third, reset and reboot. While most entrepreneurs are told that their business should be a 24-hour obsession, the reality is that working endlessly will only result in exhaustion and eventually burnout. Multitasking requires large amount of brain activity, and if you push things too far, you will focus less and perform tasks inefficiently. So there was this Pomodoro technique that a lot of people used. It is also called as the 52-17 technique, that for every 52 minutes that you work, you should take a 17-minute break. See what works for you, but don't work endlessly, and don't believe that your business requires you 24 hours. It may require us, but we need to give this body, the machine that we have, the most beautiful machine, a break. So fill up your calendar with breaks for your body. Fourth, drop the distractions. And that is one of the biggest stumbling blocks for an entrepreneur. Procrastination is an affliction that affects everybody, but if it's particularly dangerous for entrepreneurs. Constant distractions, phone calls, text messages, emails will result in zero focus. Constant distractions in terms of going and doing unproductive elements is going to be detrimental to your business. In one of my earlier episodes, I'd spoken about how you should look at the people who are surrounding you. Probably they don't have a purpose. Probably they don't have a goal. Probably they don't have a roadmap. And these are the people who will turn up and want you to be with them. And this becomes your biggest distraction. So look at the people around you and check for yourself, are you adding value? And the value could be just having a relaxation. But distraction from your work is your biggest stumbling block. Number 5, group similar tasks. When you're doing your prioritization, and I make it, and I request all entrepreneurs, all the clients that I have, that every Saturday evening should be spent on planning the next week. And when you list down everything that you would want to achieve in the next week, see those tasks which can be grouped together. When they're grouped and when you do them together, you may save some time. That way you get the sense of having achieved more and feeling less jarred when switching between tasks. Number 6, and the last one, set realistic goals. You create a plan and list the tasks that you need to do, but by the end of the day or the week, you're unable to tick everything off. This could mean 2 things. 1, there are too many distractions in your life which you need to address, or it is more likely that you have set yourself unrealistic tasks and deadline. Instead, try to divide each large task into small segments and set yourself a more achievable time frame. And when you get into this habit, and you do it week on week, there will not be those lumpy elements that come up, especially in the month of March, when you have to achieve a lot to ensure that you achieve your goals. This way you can get more done, and you will feel much better when you see your to-do list getting shorter and shorter. Now, the question that I'm going to ask all of you is, when shouldn't you multitask? Although it's important to stay on top of everything and maximize your productivity, there are certain times when juggling your focus is not recommended. For example, if you're writing a proposal or a contract for a potential client, it's best to block out all distractions. This is not the time to multitask. Lock the door, switch off everything, switch off your phone, switch off your emails, and just focus on that proposal. You can tell your team members not to disturb you for the next 30 minutes. Because multitasking can be a double-edged sword. As for entrepreneurs, there's no other way you can do away without multitasking. However, multitasking at times can lead to severe distraction and end of the day get nothing achieved. Stress and multitasking do not go well together. If you are overstressed by having too many things to do, you will not achieve what you want to do. As an entrepreneur, we cannot avoid stress. However, there are certain ways to mitigate or reduce the intensity of stress. And that is where you need to focus upon. By focusing on the 6 elements of multitasking, I am sure that you will be able to reduce this multitasking, the stress related to multitasking. But as I end today, I cannot but leave this, which I read yesterday, a tribute to the women, a tribute to all those women out there who are making a living for themselves. So today, on behalf of Beyond Red Ocean Consulting, we wish you all women for deciding to live your life on your terms, for your mindset of service and contribution, for your late nights and early mornings, for taking the risk to break your glass ceiling, for reading every book and listening to every podcast on how to overcome procrastination. I wish you for weathering the financial risk and taking full responsibility, for persevering beyond the rejections, for doing what it takes to know your value, for taking the chance to create new ways of business, prosperity, economy, and being a woman in this 21st century, for making a difference in the world, because you are the difference. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Wish you a very, very happy Holi tomorrow. Wish you a happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. But let us not lose focus. We are in the month of March, and there's a closure. There's a profit and loss closure that is coming up on the 31st of March. So keep that focus going. Ensure that you end this year on a high. But while you end this year on a high, also have your business plan for next year ready, along with your sales funnel for the month of April. Don't start the month of April without not knowing from where the next order is going to come in from, because you've closed everything in the month of March. Thank you so much for being with us. Keep writing to us, and we will always be responding to your queries. If you need any help with your business planning, with setting your purpose, with setting your goals, getting your sales team to perform better, you know whom to reach out to, because here we are on a mission. Till next Monday, same place, same time, with a new series on this business mantras for entrepreneurs. A very good morning to all of you, and have a great week. Thank you so much.